Hello, this is Scotty McCoy. I am the author of the Ultimate Friday the 13th trivia book, and I am doing another book titled The Ultimate Slasher Movie Encyclopedia, and I am interviewing the cast and crew of the Friday the 13th franchise, and I currently have on the phone with me Heidi Kozak, who played Sandra in Friday the 13th Part 7, The New Blood. Hi Heidi, how you doing?
Great. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Finally get to set up this interview and get this all completed. I'm so excited because I'm a huge fan.
Oh, thanks so much. Really appreciate that. And I'm so excited for you about your book that you're writing.
Thank you very much.
That's really exciting.
Thank you so much. So I have about 10 questions or so. The first one I got is, what was your audition like for Friday the 13th Part 7, The New Blood?
My audition was really fun. I actually had a couple auditions, and then it got down to me and one other girl. And I remember going in, and they were going to put me on tape for the producers. And I was really nervous and excited, but I did the audition. And then later, a couple hours later, I got the call that I got it. And they said something about them liking like my hair or something. I had my kind of signature off ponytail thing going on, and they really liked it and thought I was funny. So I was really excited to get it.
That is so awesome. The second thing is, you had a simple death scene, but what was it like filming it, and how did they create it?
The death scene. Well, actually, I was not there for any of the death scene. I wasn't even in the scene. It was done entirely by a stunt double.
Oh, and so, that's cool.
I didn't do any of it. And so it was as big of a surprise to me when I saw it at the premiere as it was to the audience.
And it looks just like you, too.
I know. Well, they did a pretty good job of a match. I mean, I did all of the lake stuff but I didn't do any of the underwater or like being dragged through the mud. I got to skip out on that.
Oh, okay. That is interesting then. That you kind of lucked out there.
Yeah.
So let's see. So when your character's corpse is found by Tina, along with Maddie's, Russell's, and Kate's, did you film that scene? And if so, how was it filming that?
Nope. It was the stunt double. I didn't do any of that. I think there was maybe I just did like I have to look at it again. A moment of like a corpse, but I don't even think I did that. I was never even in the mud.
Oh wow!
I was in the freezing cold water. That's for sure.
Okay. So what was the best part of filming Friday the 13th Part 7, The New Blood, and what was the worst?
Well, probably the best part was that we were all in Mobile, Alabama together. Okay. And it was like just like a lot of, young actors meeting for the first time. And we were in Mobile, and on our days off, we went bowling, and we did a lot of really fun things together. The cast got along really well. So that was just so nice because we were there for quite a few weeks together. And we all stayed at the Marriott and just did fun things. So that was awesome. Probably the worst part, I wouldn't say there was any worst part. The night shooting the lake scene was pretty crazy because it was literally freezing. And wow. John could not have been nicer. I mean, he is just such an amazing director and so caring. And I just remember him being really worried about me getting in that lake in that cold water. So he just did lots of nice things. Like he made sure the trailer was super warmed up for when I got out of there. And he was there they had people there with like hot heated blankets right away. But that water was like freezing cold. And then I remember I just like dove right in there, and he could not have been happier. He was just like, I couldn't believe that you just dove right into that water like that. That was just crazy. And he was so happy. I don't know if he thought I was going to like put my toe in and run the other direction, but no way. I knew I was going to have to get that water, so I just went for it. And and dove right in. And then afterwards, he came and he like literally helped warm me, like put the blankets around me and like got me all warmed up again.
Awesome. So, what was the most memorable moment or experience while filming Friday the 13th Part 7?
Let me think. Okay. Well, maybe Laura Park Lincoln was just such a talented actress, and she had been working a lot longer than I had. And I really enjoyed watching her work. She was just so talented, and I would say that was like one of the highlights, was getting to see an actress that was more experienced than I was. In film, I'd done a ton of theater, many years of theater. I was in a show off Broadway, and I'd done a lot of theater, but I was newer to film. So, and I was in the BFA, the repertory company at USC. So film was like a different medium to me, and I remember talking to her about how much smaller it was, and how she did things and her technique, and she was just very forthcoming with that, and very generous. I think she's an acting teacher now, so I'm not surprised, because she really was just so great talking to me about that.
Awesome. So, off of Friday the 13th for a second, how did you get your start into acting?
I started acting when I was like 5, but I mainly did theater for many years. I was just really into theater. I did lead in a show in New York called The Rhymers of Eldritch with Greg Germain. Do you know who Greg is? He was in, he's a really talented actor. He was a lead in like Ally McBeal. And,
okay, yes.
IMDb, he's done a lot of stuff. And then Judith Ivey played my mom. And it was play Lamford Wilson wrote and directed. Okay. And he rarely directed. So that was very special. So I just always did it. I always wrote plays, and I performed, and I went to Santa Monica High School with a lot of very talented people. Robert Downey Jr. was my boyfriend in high school, and he certainly was a great talent even then. And the Estevez brothers, just a lot of just extraordinary talent.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, what was it like working with Kane Hodder?
He was awesome. He was just awesome. Super guy. Super guy.
I heard that a lot about him. Everybody says he's like plays this menacing Jason, but he's like this big velvet, like fluffy teddy bear that is just amazing.
Totally. He's a very beloved person on set, and everyone just adored him.
Awesome. So, how was John Carl Buechler as a director?
He was fabulous. Like, I already told you the story about how he was with me with the free cold ice water. Just super caring, very creative. He's also a fabulous artist, and I remember talking to him once. He was telling me about how he would draw so much of what he did, the storyboards he would draw himself. And I'm a writer also, so I was just very interested in like that process. And Friday the 13th was one of the first movies that I ever did, so I was, really making the most of my time being able to talk to people like Laura and like John, who had more experience than I did in that, in the film medium, as I was transitioning from stage to film and TV. And that was one of the things that that stuck with me too. And although I'm not an artist, but I do, like now with Pinterest, like when I'm writing a project, I pin everything. I have always done, found a way to have lots of visuals and pictures that inspire me. Okay. And John was definitely one of the first people that taught me about how to utilize that in your writing.
Right. So the next question is, in the film, your character goes skinny dipping. Were you nervous to do that type of scene on camera?
I didn't do the skinny dipping. It was a body double. I didn't any of the underwater stuff. So
all the nude scenes were also
The only thing that's me is when I go running and when I take it off and go running into the lake.
Oh, okay.
So I jump in the lake, jump in the water, and then the rest of everything else was the body double.
Okay. And the last question I have is, do you have any future projects in the works that you want to tell the readers about?
Sure. I'm writing, I'm creating a TV show for David Friendly, who is, he produced Little Miss Sunshine, and he has this show, Queen of the South, that's in its 3rd season on USA. So I'm creating a show with him right now. It's going to be fabulous. I'm very excited about it.
Awesome.
And then I'm also writing a mini series in the vein of Big Little Lies. And that is my other big project I'm working on right now.
Awesome. That is so great. Thank you so much for your time.
You are so welcome.
I do have a question quick for you. I remember, and it might have been on Wikipedia a long time ago, I remember, and now that I'm talking to him, like, I have to ask her this. Did you grow up in Wilkes-Barre?
No, I was born in Denmark. Okay. And then I lived in Israel, and then we moved to the States, and I grew up in the United States. I grew up in Los Angeles.
Okay, so that must have been false information, because I know I seen that on Wikipedia that it said, like, born in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania.
There's so much false stuff by my place of birth. They've had that somebody was my sister that wasn't my sister.
Oh, my God.
Heidi Kozak is not my sister. She's a fabulous actress, and I heard super nice, but we're not related. And
I was going to be like, if you're from Wilkes-Barre, that would be so cool, because that's only an hour north of me.
No.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Of course. Good luck with your book, Scotty.
Thank you very much.
Good for you for creating your own work. I so admire that.
Awesome. Thank you very much. And I'm really a big fan of yours, and I really look forward to everything that you have coming out as well.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
No
very
problem.
much.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.